What's up, everybody? 32 Icon here. I hope that you guys are doing well. I'm doing well myself. Please go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't already, in good faith that I will continue bringing you great content. So today I want to talk about 3 different calibers that I shot for the very first time. I shot a 40 caliber through a conversion barrel. I shot a 357 on the Glock 32, and I used the conversion barrel on this piece right here. And I shot a 45 caliber on the SIG 1911. And all I can say is that it was dope. All right, it was good shooting something with more potency, because I'm used to shooting my 9mm. If you notice, most of my reviews are on 9mm. So this right here is a Battlefield Green 19, and the slide was black, but I got it sent to Low Key Tactical, and I had it. I had some slide work done, and I got it Cerakoted. This is a burnt bronze, I believe. They did the rear serrations over, and they added front serrations, and you could see the windows on both sides, and they added a port on the top of the slide. I'll do a review on this later, but and this has the agency trigger in it. But yeah, I have to do a report on that. I have to do a review on this later, but I had to take it out, put some rounds through it since it got the Cerakote work done. But let me just get into this review. So I've been thinking about this 32 a while now, and it has some stipple work done to it. And I've never shot a 357, but I said, you know what? I want something with a little more potency. I want something with a little more, bang for my buck. And some people have gone up to 40, but they said it's not a real big difference between 9 and 40. So I tried it out, and 40 is a little snappy. So I was talking to one of the range officers who I frequently speak with at the range that I frequent. And he was saying, well, Liv, if you're going to go with the 40, you might as well, boom, carry the 357. So I said, well, let me see, because when I first shot it, I said, no. I said, this has too much bang, too much bang. Like, I'll show you in the video where I was shooting, and I'll show you where my rounds landed. I was about 7 or 8 yards away. And it took some while getting used to, because those first 10 rounds out of this, it was like hard to control, I guess, because I was just used to shooting 9. So I was like, let me dial it down a bit. So what I did was I added the conversion barrel, the 40 caliber. I added this barrel in it, and I said, all right, let me see what 40 got. So I'm shooting the 40, and I'm like, it got a little bit more power than the 9, but it's not doing it for me, right? So then I was like, you know what? Let me shoot the 45. So boom, I bust out the 1911. Now, of course, this is a longer slide, but I was like, let me bust it out and see what it got. So I took it out, and okay, so I don't know what it was. Part of it is the mag release here. So when I've gone over this before, I have very long fingers. So as I'm shooting it, I'm putting my finger up in here, and the mag release button is like messing with me when I shoot. So I can't really get a good purchase on it. And it just didn't feel good to me when I was shooting. But I like the power of the 45. But my Tac Ops 9mm felt way better. And I don't know if it felt better because it was less power and it was a 9mm, or maybe because the mag release didn't bother me as much. I don't know what it was. So I was just kind of like, you know what? Let me go back to the 357. Let me give it another try. And all of a sudden I just started shooting accurate, and it felt good. I wasn't afraid of the power, and I was just like owning it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, yeah, this is about to be my new carry. I got a little more power. You know what I'm saying? And I just started really, really enjoying it. And I don't know why that is, because I can't stand Glock, but yeah, I love Glock. And I love my M&P 2.0. I wish they had it in a 357 or like a 10 millimeter. Wouldn't that be dope if M&P 2.0 compact came with a caliber for 10 millimeters, same size though, same size as the 19, but for a 10 millimeter caliber or a 357? That would be dope. That would be my go-to. I would carry that every single day, all day. Like, that will be my new. But for now, I guess I have to go with this. And I don't know if it's going to be my new EDC, but let me tell you, after shooting maybe 50 rounds or so through it, I was loving it. I was loving it with the 357 SIG. Not so much the conversion of the 40 barrel. I don't know. That wasn't speaking to me. But this, after 50 rounds, was speaking to me. I said, oh, okay. So then this is what I did. So I shot about 50 through here, and 40 cal, and 50 in the 45. And I said, okay, let me go back to my 9 and see how all this feels. Let me tell you, now, you guys may have more experience than I do shooting these calibers. Again, it was my first time shooting a 40, a 45, and a 357 SIG. So I said, okay, let me go back and compare it to my 9. Child, I brought out my 9, because remember I had to test this out because I just got the slide work done. I went from power to pellet. I swear, when I shot this, it felt like I was shooting a 22. It was that much of a difference. I was not ready for that type of difference. I thought maybe it'd just maybe decrease a little bit in power, but shooting this immediately after shooting the other calibers, it was like shooting a pellet gun. It was just no power. I felt like when I was shooting, I was all over the place. And I could say I'm pretty experienced, but I mean, I'm no expert. I ain't teaching in classes or anything. But as far as like going to the range and being able to control my EDC, I can do that very well. And when I'm telling you, when I was shooting this, it just felt like it was flimsy and there was no power to it. And now I can see why some, especially guys, go with something with a little more power, because, first of all, they want something with a little more power to save their lives. And second of all, they really want to be able to, I guess, control it and be able to, I want to say, make sure that, it's going to do what it needs to do in the first couple of rounds. And I have to dump a whole mag into something or someone in order to defend their lives. But this 357 was really a hit. And again, it's only 50 rounds, and I'll bring it back to the range and play around with it a little bit more. But I had these sights on it. Actually, I got it like this, so I didn't bother changing the sights out. I believe these are Trijicons, and they seem to work for me. Initially, I shot this very low, and so I said, okay, it's more of a 12 o'clock hold, I should say, and I think I was holding it right on the target, and it was shooting at 6 o'clock. So I just gave it a 12 o'clock hold, and I was right on target. But that's gonna be my new. So I like the 357 round. The 45, I like it, but maybe, I didn't even tell y'all this. Let me tell you. So I'm at the range, and my boy comes in. I haven't seen him in a minute because I've been away from the range, and I was like, you know what? Let me go back to the range, get up on my my shooting, sharpen my skills. Let me make sure I'm straight. So he comes in, and he's a martial arts trainer, and he's a what do you call it? He's a trained fighter for something else, and he teaches classes on self-defense. So he just bought a Wilson Combat. a Wilson Combat, okay? And he let me shoot out, for those who don't know, Wilson Combat in 1911, basically the size of a 19. Let me tell you. He comes in, I was like, all right, I gotta shoot it. So I go over to his port, I take out 7 rounds, and remember, I had just finished shooting these. So I go over to shoot his. The reset, I don't even think that the trigger reset in my hand. That's how quick and smooth it was. It just, as soon as I fired the first round, I'm telling you, I don't think I moved my finger. And the second round fired. It startled me. I was like, what the hell? It was so quick. And even on the trigger pull was, it gotta have been like a few millimeters long. I'm telling you, that Wilson Combat was amazing. I think some places that gun is about $3,000. You might be able to catch it on sale for $2,700. And it was the gray frame he had, not even the black. And I love gray. He had a gray frame. He said he had it for about 5 weeks now, and he shot 500 rounds through it. And it is, I mean, it is probably the perfect carry piece. He carries it with 2 spare bags on the side. Man, I was so I was like, oh my gosh. Like, anyway, I'm going off on a tangent, but I shot that after shooting this, and it made this look like nothing. That Wilson Combat is the truth, okay? The trigger pull, the accuracy, the sights on it, the reset. Ciao, bye. It was great. But anyway, this video is long enough, but I just wanted to let you know, how it was shooting those 3 different calibers. I like the 9. It feels flimsy and like a 22 after shooting a 40, a 45, and a 357, which obviously can be expected. I just didn't realize how the big difference between all of the calibers. So it was good to explore. I think I would like the 45 if it was smaller, like in the Wilson Combat. Maybe a I don't know. I don't know if I would like it if it's in a smaller frame, or if it was just this mag release that was aggravating me when I was shooting it. But I do like the power of a 45, but I want to try it more in a carry size. But you can't compare everything to the Wilson Combat because it's a Wilson Combat. Like, you can't really compare. But a 1911 in a carry size, if I were to try that out, then maybe I'll be able to compare it to the other carry size in the 357, and then in the 40 caliber, and then so on in the 9 caliber. But maybe I'll find when I'll get to it. But for now, I think this might be a win. I gotta give it a little bit more time before I start throwing it on my hip. But I do like the power in it, and they say it's a great round, and so far I will have to agree. It's a great round after 50 rounds or so, but I'm gonna test that out a little bit more before I throw it on my hip. Anyway, I just wanted to let y'all know. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you tried these. I'm sure you have. I'm sure I'm just new to the calibers, but let me know what y'all prefer. And although there are different options out there, people still prefer to carry the 9mm. I don't know if it's because it's easier to train and it's cheaper, but well, it's hella cheaper than buying 40 and 45 and 357. I'll tell you that right now. But I don't know if they carry it because it's just easier to carry. But I mean, I guess if you had a choice, wouldn't you want to go with something a little bit more powerful? I don't know. But 357 is where it's at. So anyway, I'll show you some shooting at the end of this video. And I'll show you the targets and where I was and how accurate or inaccurate I was. You guys be the judge, but you'll get to see it. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know, and I'll do another review later on this slide from Low Key Tactical. And maybe I'll do a more in-depth review of this SIG 1911 once I put a little more rounds through it. I don't know. It was just okay. It wasn't as good as my TAC Ops. I like the TAC Ops better. But, I mean, I guess if you don't like it, you can always sell it or trade it in, right? Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope that you guys are doing well. And let me know your thoughts down in the comment section, all right? And I will catch you on the next video. Thanks. Peace. Yeah. Yeah, it's going up.
I have a loader.
Why don't I don't do that? Yeah. I mean, you close if you want. But if you want. When you're yeah.
The 40, 357, 1911, about 7, 8 yards out.